The numbers are in from Maricopa County's annual point-in-time homeless count, and once again, they show an increase in those experiencing homelessness in the Phoenix metro area. Joining us now is Brian Gruters. He's Regional Homeless Program Manager at Maricopa County Association of Governments, better known as MAG. Brian, good to have you. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
But before we get going and get too deep in here, what is the point in time? What is this all about?
Point in time just refers to the fact that this is a one-time look over the course of the year. So you go out at a point in time and you count folks. You do a census of people who are in shelter and then sleeping outside or in parks or in cars, anywhere that you wouldn't consider decent for habitation.
I was going to ask that because people think of it as a homeless count, but homeless can be described in many different ways.
Right, so the point in time count is a HUD requirement. It's a HUD mandate for communities that receive HUD funding to address homelessness. And so HUD has a definition of homelessness. That's the one we go by.
And it sounds, we talked earlier, HUD has a definition of when this needs to be done, and this was done in late January?
That's correct. Yeah, everybody who does this count, which is everyone who receives this funding from HUD, it's about 400 different communities across the country. They all do it in the last 10 days of January.
And as you mentioned earlier before we got on the air, they do it because on the East Coast, that's a better chance of finding folks. But out here, holy smokes, I mean, I would think that you would find more people in shelters in the summer.
Generally, I think that's probably true. On the West Coast, in general, you have more people living unsheltered. And so typically the counts focus more on the unsheltered portion of the people living outside.
The process, how is it done? How do you make sure you don't count the same person twice? Because sometimes these folks move around.
That's a great question. So out here, we have a big county and lots of different jurisdictions. So cities, towns, unincorporated areas. So we break those up, and all of those different jurisdictions, they do their own version of a count. So they all bring in volunteers, they have coordinators. Thank you, by the way, to all those folks who coordinate and who go out. And so they do a count, they all go out, they use a mobile app that MAG coordinates. That mobile app is on your phone, and you can go out and count somebody, interview them, record the data, and it all comes back into a central hub where we process the data. To deduplicate anybody that might have been counted twice, we start by just saying, only count in these areas. Everyone's assigned a specific area. Sometimes people cross from one area to another. So we look at identifying data. We really try to get folks who go counting to say, like, this is a person who had a red baseball cap pushing a cart at a bus stop on this street corner. And that helps us to say, that's probably this person, and we should only count them once.
Yeah, it's an interesting process. Okay, results, 3% increase from last time?
That's correct, from 2024.
Okay,
Yep.
Why do we think that happened?
Well, we see steady increases kind of from 2019 up. You'll see just the trend line goes up. Typically, if you look at 2023 to 2025, it's a 1% increase. 2024 was a weird year. It was a really good year. It was a high water mark for us for shelter. We had lots of shelter available, thanks in part to the really hard work of our different communities, City of Phoenix, lots of communities outside of the central core of the region put up lots of shelter. And so one of the things that you saw this last year is that the overall number went up, but more importantly, I would say the unsheltered number went up, 28%, which is a huge jump.
Why? What's going on there?
Yeah, so the main thing that we've observed is that we had less shelter. And so a lot of these shelter beds that were put up, which resulted in the 2024 count being lower, unsheltered, those beds were the result of funding from the federal government, temporary money that came out after the COVID-19 pandemic, American Rescue Plan Act funding in part, and people use that money to great advantage building shelter beds.
Is that the same thing that happened, like rental assistance funding? I know that's been cut as well. Was that a factor here as well?
Slightly different. That's super important after shelter. So you get folks into shelter, ideally that'll reduce your unsheltered count, and so that'll reduce your visibility of people on the street. You need that money, and you need those available beds. But then once people are in beds, you would use the subsidy, the vouchers, those kinds of things to get people into homes.
But social services, either chopped or on the chopping block, makes a difference in this, does it not?
Absolutely. So we saw, if you look at the numbers, and you can look at 2024 and say, like, that was a bold year. We saw a huge impact from a lot of shelter production. We created lots of shelter beds. This last year, our unsheltered number went up by 28%, largely because of a reduction of 1,000 plus beds.
Wow.
Because that federal funding expired.
All right, so many things that you've talked about here. You got the numbers, you got the facts and figures. What do you want to see done with these things? I mean, how do you want municipalities, leadership, officials, how do you want them to take these facts and figures?
Like I mentioned, bold action, we know it produces results. We know how to reduce visibility of homelessness. And more importantly, we know how to get people off the street so that they're not dealing with heat, so that they're not dealing with all other things that can happen to you living on the street. So that creates, we know what solves this problem is more housing, more shelter. And the way that you get that is you work hard, you have good communities doing big things, and having resources available with which to do those things.
And so my last question was going to be, what do you want folks to take from this latest point in time?
Yeah, I think what we would encourage people to do is support funding systems that do this work well, answers that we know work. So shelter, it works. Housing, it works. We need more of all of those things. And when we have more, you see what we got last year, which was a general reduction in homelessness and unsheltered homelessness in particular.
Brian Gruters, MAG Regional Homeless Manager, Maricopa Association of Governments. Good information. Good to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
I'm Chef Mark Tarbell. Welcome to Check Please Arizona, the show where Arizona residents recommend their favorite restaurants.
In this episode, we're making time for some Thai, enjoying Greek dishes, and finally, a not-so-typical sports bar.
It was definitely something different, but very, very good.
For me, every time I go, it hits the spot.
Brownie peanut butter hot cookie. Yeah, okay, I'm there.
Thursday night at 7 on Arizona PBS.
It's a monumental tale, both epic and intimate. Aida, Ethiopia's princess, Radames, Egypt's warrior. Their countries are at war, but they're in love. And Amneris couldn't be more jealous. Thrilled to Angel Blue, Piotr Bachawa and Judith Kutashi, and Yannick Nézet-Séguin conducts when Verdi's grand opera spectacular, Aida, comes to great performances at the Met.
Friday night at 8 on Arizona PBS.
Hi, I'm Ken Burns. I've been making films about American history on PBS for nearly 50 years. There's no other place where I can tell our story for all of us. PBS belongs to the American people, to viewers like you. But our PBS is at risk because Congress is considering devastating funding cuts. We need your support now more than ever. Please visit protectmypublicmedia.org to make your voice heard and stand with PBS.
A number of new art installations in Phoenix city parks offer colorful expressions of public art while at the same time providing some much-needed shade and cooler temperatures. To learn more, we welcome Carrie Brown, Deputy Director of Arts and Culture with the City of Phoenix, and David Handula, Director at the Phoenix Office of Heat Response and Mitigation. Good to see you both here. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Carrie, we'll start with you. This is titled Sombra Experiments in Shade. Give me a better definition of what we're talking about.
We're talking about Experiments in Shade. It's a project that comes out of the Public Art Challenge from Bloomberg Philanthropies, and the spirit of the grant is to experiment and to try new things in the interest of trying to solve a local civic issue. So our issue is extreme urban heat, so we challenged our artists to come up with innovative solutions for shade, and that's what we're showcasing this summer.
And how many installations in the city?
Total of 9. We've unveiled 6, so we've got 3 more to go.
How did you figure out a number? Was it simply funding?
Funding, yep.
Yeah. And the artists, how do you figure out the artists?
Yeah, well, we had a national call to artists. We brought in experts like Dave and his team to help us review all the applications that we received, and we were really looking for projects that were innovative and engaging with the community.
I was going to say, David, what were you looking for? Something that stands out but gets the job done, I would imagine.
Absolutely. I first want to highlight that this effort is really a showcase of the city's Shade Phoenix plan and our shade initiatives. This is really helping us take a step forward, thinking about how to integrate art and beauty and culture into providing shade that I think sometimes in cities is lost as just a simple function or something that's utilitarian. Here, a great opportunity to make shade part of our cultural fabric.
Yeah, I want you both to take a look at some of these things. The first one is at Cielito Park. It's called Rincon de Color, and apparently this is inspired by a mythical folk art animals. And talk to us, Carrie, talk to us about this thing. This This looks like a canopy, for goodness sake. What is this?
Yeah, so this was a really fun project where we engaged some local students in the making of the project itself. So you'll see their handiwork on the piece. And it also has a solar-powered misting system. So you get that coolness from the canopy itself, but then you walk in and you get that extra bit of cool.
So, and correct me if I'm wrong, the misting system, as she mentioned, solar-powered, but it's also like motion generated, so it's not just misting the grass, right?
Absolutely. We certainly want to be mindful of our water resources and really providing shade and cooling to people when they are there. Great technology and a huge impact on the body heat load, providing that shade and the extra benefit of the cooling from the misting system.
Okay, as far as the cooling is concerned, I think we have some temperature readings. Do we have that up here? Can we see what goes on with the temperature readings on this one?
Yeah.
Okay. That looks like a big difference there. Who wants to speak to that? Dave?
Yeah, this has been a really fun part of our engagement and partnership with Arts and Culture. So we're looking at an infrared image here of the temperatures of different surfaces in the scene. So if you were to put your hand on some of these surfaces, this would be a morning image. The surfaces aren't as hot as they could get in the afternoon, but we see more than a 20 Fahrenheit difference between the surface temperature under the structure and in the surrounding area. If we think about what that might look like in even a hotter time of the day, that could be the difference between burn and no burn, happy versus sad children, comfortable versus uncomfortable people. A huge difference the shade makes.
From 93 degrees outside to 70 degrees or 71 under the panel. That's fantastic.
Big difference.
All right, Carrie, we got something called Burrow at Roseley Park, and this is inspired. That's a tortoise.
It sure is. It's inspired by our desert tortoise, which is an animal that's very well adapted to the desert, and they burrow in the ground for their own cooling, but then when they leave, there's these shade elements for other creatures to use.
And, correct me if I'm wrong, that's heat-resistant paint that you used on this?
It is, yeah. We use a product called Encoat, and it helps to reduce the heat coming off of the structure, so it's cooler to the touch, and it helps to reduce the heat that you're feeling underneath it as well.
All right, and I think we have some temperature readings on this one as well, David. This was Burrow at Roseley Park, and we get the temperature readings of, holy smokes.
Yeah, another big contrast here, and I'm so glad we got to talk about the materials. There's a lot of innovation happening right now all across the world in what surface coatings and treatments we can apply. But what we don't see as much of yet is testing in the real world. How do these hold up under the constraints of the urban environment of people? So as Carrie talked about, this is an experiment. This is a great learning opportunity, and maybe some of the materials, some of the design ideas can become mainstream as part of city processes.
108 outside and 77 beneath this thing?
Shade is huge.
That's
shade
beyond
makes
huge.
all the difference in the world.
Okay, one more. We got a botanical canopy at Cortez Park, and this looks like a bunch of tennis rackets. What's going on here, Carrie?
So this artist wove this project with the community's help using, I think over 10,000 linear feet of nylon parachute cord. And it's just a way to show the simple application can create these shade patterns and provide the cooling on this bridge.
Well, and we don't have any temperature readings on it, but that bird looked like was pretty happy with it. David, obviously, what we've seen here looks pretty cool, and we're seeing them put together, piece this thing together. It's got to look good, though. I mean, this is all great and everything, but it's got to be inspiring and public art that the public enjoys.
Yeah, I think there's a tremendous appetite for shade in the community. We hear it from residents all the time, a desire for more shade on our sidewalks, more shade in our parks. And we think we can deliver that shade in a beautiful way that takes advantage of the great local artists and talent we have here. It'll create a more enriching experience for everyone.
How long have these things been up?
In some cases, some are yet to come.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to them being up through the summer with a big celebration in store for the end of the season.
And reaction you've had so far to all this?
So far, really positive. We've seen people using the structures, providing a lot of feedback. We're also doing a survey as part of the grant application. So we're getting a lot of real-time feedback at our events. So we're hearing lots of positive things.
Very cool. Carrie Brown and David Handula, congratulations on this. Can't wait to see more of it. And it certainly seems effective. That's good to see. Good to have you here.
Thank you so much.
As we mentioned earlier, Brian Wilson has died. Wilson co-founded the Beach Boys and co-wrote or wrote most of the band's music. That music ranged from feel-good, fun in the sun, coming-of-age songs to intricate compositions that influenced a host of musicians, including the Beatles. Ed Masley is the pop music critic and reporter at the Arizona Republic and azcentral.com, and he joins us now. Ed, good to have you on the show. I appreciate your work. I enjoy reading it. And I know that you saw quite a few Brian Wilson concerts later in life. Before we get to that, your thoughts on what happened today? I mean, it's just, the news is...
It's heartbreaking news. I mean, he lived such a... Well, he gave so much to all of us with his life, but his life was so troubled in many ways. There's so much sadness in his life. So, you know, it's sad that to see him go.
Yeah, his impact on popular music in general. I've mentioned it a couple of times, and even in conversation, it's really hard to overstate that.
It is hard to overstate it. Yeah, I mean, he was hugely influential. He really pushed the boundaries of pop music and drove a lot of other people, a lot of other key artists to push the boundaries as well, especially, as you mentioned, the Beatles. There was a real rivalry going on there, and they were really pushing each other to that next step. And his music in the mid-'60s was as sophisticated as the Beatles and Burt Bacharach.
Yeah, yeah. How did that songcraft evolve from what seemed like Chuck Berry and I think Four Freshmen were part of his inspiration early on in the early 60s? Where did he get that, and how did he become Pet Sounds and on?
Well, I mean, he was really into others. He was really into classical music. He was really into Gershwin. He was into a lot of different types of music. And, you know, he quickly got to the point where he wanted to abandon that formula of the early hits with the, you know, the car songs, the girl songs, the surfing songs, and do something more sophisticated.
So that's pretty much what got him to experiment and stretch out a little bit, I've got to move on, you know.
Yeah, between that and the drugs.
Yeah, well, I guess we might as well talk about that. I mean, was that obviously the mental problems, the personal problems really started hitting in the mid-'60s, and they just kind of took a life of their own. Were drugs front and center on this?
Drugs were part of it. Abusive relationships in his life. His father, who managed the group, was very abusive. He suffered with depression. He had a nervous breakdown on the flight to a Beach Boys tour in the mid-'60s, at which point he retired from the road to focus on the music. And that's when he got more into drugs, which became another problem.
Talk about the father influence again, because I've read about that, and it was pretty scary stuff.
Yeah, he was physically abusive. He was psychologically abusive, emotionally abusive. And, you know, in many ways, he drove the group's early success. He kept them in line, but they fired him pretty quickly. He was their manager, and they fired him after that first wave of success.
And they got the success, and then Brian starts experimenting in a variety of ways. How did the other members of the Beach Boys take where he was going?
They didn't always like it. There's some dispute. Mike Love is now disputing that he ever had bad things to say about Pet Sounds. It's hard to say whose first-person account is real and whose isn't, but I tend to feel that Brian's probably a little more accurate on that. Yeah, they wanted the hits to keep coming. They wanted more songs like California Girls and Surfin' USA. They wanted to be America's band. They wanted to be the big rock band that was holding back the British invasion. And Brian wanting to do better music, they felt was threatening their chart superiority.
Yeah, yeah, and then we've mentioned it a couple of times, Pet Sounds, which is kind of an iconic album
it is.
in rock history. Why is it so revered, and why was it not a hit when it was released?
Well, I think it wasn't a hit in part because of what I just said. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't part of their formula so much. And I think it's so revered because it's so sophisticated. It really took rock and roll in a direction rock and roll had not gone before. And I think it did so with a lot of emotional resonance. There's, you know, Brian's wounded psyche really comes through in the music. And he didn't always write the lyrics, you know, but you could feel the sadness in the music.
That vulnerability that carried on after Pet Sounds. Pet Sounds almost seems like it's the Ridge. I mean, it's the before and after in some respects. I know Smile was a project, but it seemed like he had a vulnerability. It also seemed like between Fathers, Van Dyke Parks, and other people that he worked with, Eugene Landy, strong personalities just seemed like they buffeted him in different directions. Does that sound right?
Yeah. I mean, Eugene Landy definitely took advantage of his ability to be controlled.
Yes.
His tendency to be controlled. That was a very, it was a weird relationship they had. I mean, Landy also got him to do his first solo record, which is a really good album. That album never would have existed without Landy, but Landy was not good for him.
Did that vulnerability, did it shine in the concerts? Did it show in the concerts? I never got a chance to see him live because, you know, I wasn't too sure about it. I've got that album, by the way, and it is a good album. I wasn't so sure about the concerts. You have seen a lot of his concerts.
I've seen a lot. And, you know, you have to see him on his terms, you know. That vulnerability is right in your face in concert. He's obviously uncomfortable. He stares off into space. He's not always engaged in what's going on around him. But it kind of adds to the vulnerability and the emotional connection and the feeling that there's a human making this amazing music. I think it kind of added to the experience of seeing his concerts in a lot of ways.
Because I know you wrote about how sometimes he wasn't finishing songs and didn't have come in and go out on the right parts and things like this. That's got to be difficult to see.
It can be, yes. It can be. You know, it was there was a give and take there, right?
Right.
But I mean, I never missed a concert. If I could see Brian Wilson, I would go see Brian Wilson.
Isn't that something? As far as his legacy is concerned, music, pop culture, what do you see?
I see it lasting for a long, long time. I mean, you know, Rolling Stone just published their latest greatest albums of all time, and Pet Sounds stayed at #2, while everything else, all the boomer music fell. You know, the Beatles were like, where are the Beatles? I thought people used to talk about them. They went no, you know, they really ushered in this whole. They did their best to right the wrongs of past boomer-centric kind of journalism, and they put all these young acts up high, but there was Pet Sounds, #2.
Yeah.
And I think 20 years from now, Pet Sounds is going to be in the top 5. And I think it's just going to stay there.
Yeah, it's remarkable music. Ed Masley, Arizona Republic, azcentral.com. Thank you so much for showing up and sharing your memories of Brian Wilson.
Thank you for having us.
You bet. And that is it for now. I'm Ted Simons. Thank you so much for joining us. You have a great evening.
When you want to be more inspired, Arizona PBS delivers unforgettable experiences in music, theater, and the arts, thanks to members like you. And
are you a high school student looking to jumpstart your path to higher education?